Good morning, everybody. So today I'm going to give you an overview of the Sun Oracle database machine, which I guess some of you may have heard of, and some of it might be fairly new too. So from our perspective, from Oracle's perspective, this is probably one of the most successful product launches we've ever had. And it's now just over 16 months old, and in the very first year that we've had some really superb responses from customers. So as is common with most products, we've been working with customers right away around the world to demonstrate the effectiveness of the solution. And I think what I'm going to take you through first of all is a series of benchmarks which we've run against pretty much real configurations. So some of these benchmarks are competitive, and some of them are against current running production systems. And I think from my perspective, I've been working with Oracle for quite some time, both most recently as an Oracle person, but previously as a customer. I think it is very, very refreshing to see Oracle really walking all over the competition, and that's probably the first time we've seen that in the data warehousing space. So this first one I put up there, this is against DB2, and we were 26 times faster than a similar DB2 machine. Again, all I can really say is that these results were pretty much out of the box. So one of the things that we'll see, the recurring theme through this, is the lack of tuning that we had to do to these systems. I was involved in running some of the very early proofs of concepts, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised that all we really had to do was load the data. Very often we didn't bother creating any indexes and no aggregations, no summaries, no materialized views, and this box was still performing and outperforming the competition. So that first one is against DB2. The next one is against Sybase IQ. So it's not only against the traditional databases. What we see now is even some of the niche vendors that we are beating them at their own game, if you like. So against Sybase IQ, you can see there we had a 10 times performance improvement. So, and it's not only against some of those smaller systems. So this was against a very large CDR system, so it's a call data record system, and we were 11 times faster than that. I think what's also very interesting in this particular one is the 3 terabytes an hour load speed that we were able to have. And I think that is pretty much the fastest load speed that I've seen. Some of our competition would claim speed around that sort of time, but I think we've seen some really good performance there. So this is perhaps one of the biggest ones. This is the one that I was responsible for early in the year, or I should say one of the fastest ones. This was against some IBM kit, and it wasn't any old IBM kit. This was the absolute top of the range 590 servers with very serious storage behind that as well. And as you can see there, we had 80 times the performance. So this isn't. So all of these POCs aren't, as I say, aren't against sort of trivial machines. They're not unreasonable comparisons. They're against running systems. And for something to go from 12 hours down to 12 minutes on a configuration, which in fact this one was only a half rack machine, and is a V1 half rack machine, I think you can start to see that this really is a game-changing technology. So again, another telecoms one here. So this is against an Oracle database on Sun M series. So it's not only that Oracle as software beats the competition, it's also that we're beating other hardware with Oracle on it. So again, you can look at that one. So 3 hours is down to 50 minutes, 3 times faster for loads, and the queries themselves are running 19 times faster. So this one, so probably the best in the market for a number of years in terms of scanning large runs of data has been the teaser. And you can see that from that figure there. So we were 3 times faster than the teaser. So I think that shows that the teaser was doing fairly well. But I think it also shows is that we have now leapfrogged the teaser in performance. So our data loads are 25 times faster, and the overall speed, as you can see there. And of course, in the very large data warehouse space, it's Teradata are the big competition for us. On this particular one, we can see that we were 6 times faster than Teradata. So we took here a large proportion of a production Teradata system, which is running on reasonably recent kit from Teradata. We put it directly onto an Oracle machine. We didn't add any indexes. We didn't add any summaries. We did absolutely nothing to tune it whatsoever, and we were getting 6 times performance. When we also took it up then onto a 6 times volume, the performance declined a little bit. It was a little bit slower on 6 times, but not really significantly. But when they tried to do that on a very recent Teradata 5550, their most recent box, it didn't even complete on their machines. So we do have something here which is, I think quite special. Another one here, this is against Greenplum on a Sun X 4500. So again, we were 16 times faster than this. I put these slides in terms of the proofs of concepts that we've done and the performance stats right up front, because I think it's worthwhile talking about those straight away to understand why why this is something that is game-changing, to really show everybody that it is something which has dramatically changed the environment. So I think you should have a poll appearing at the moment, and that poll is asking you to select the performance of your data warehouse.
We'll just give that a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds for everybody to answer the questions. That's about 80% of people voted now, so we'll close that, and we'll share the results with you all.
Okay, so that's quite interesting. That's actually correct. So what I've got here is yes, so with 13% of the people had some performance problems, 2% had no performance, 33% sometimes, and 51% don't know or not applicable. So all the ones that really responded, we had about half of those people maybe that had some performance issues there. So hopefully, for some of you, this might provide a way out that you can reasonably simply upgrade to a Oracle Exadata machine and get some of those performance without necessarily having the large-scale migration that will be possible from moving systems. So in terms of who's bought this in the first year, here are the public references we've got. We've sold quite a few more than these, but these are the companies that are very happy to talk to other customers about it. And although it's not a huge number yet, I think for 1 year of a brand new hardware product, I think that's a pretty good list of companies out there. And a number of those were also in Europe. So I think the question is why is this actually any different than anything that's happened before? So what I put up here is what a lot of people might think is a typical large data warehousing system, which is some sort of large SMP box. It could be rack, but it doesn't really that's not really important. It's just a large SMP box, and it's connected to a large disk array. And that overall will give you 10.6 gigabytes per second of throughput on scan time. And that figure is taken from the Storage Performance Council. So there's a link on the bottom of the slide there. If you go to storageperformance.org, they do some very good references and tests around storage configurations. So that, if some of you are familiar with the cost of that and the size of those systems, those are very expensive and they are extremely large. So the next slide is what would take to not only compete with that, but to actually get twice that throughput. So that's just a single Exadata cabinet. There's a lot of white space on the right-hand side of that slide, and it's because we can do twice the performance of that configuration I just showed you, those 6 cabinets, in just 1 cabinet. So I think you'll agree that is pretty game-changing, and the price differential is also roughly the same as well, in that we're coming in substantially lower than the competition just on the hardware part of this. So what's inside to make the difference then? So it really splits into 3 different sets of components in there. And for those of you who are used to maybe some very complicated setups, this is actually a reasonably simple setup. We have 8 what we call complete servers. So these are 8 dual CPU